All right, welcome back to the Cheech and Manny show. We're gonna remove the music for a little bit, and it's now gonna going to be the Cheech and Manny true crime show.
Yes.
And at that point, we might as well open up the treasure box to like other mysteries and other true crime things, which I think in the future is gonna be very look forward to that. But anyway, welcome
Yeah.
to the Cheech and Manny show. I am your host, Manny. I have my co-host Cheech Carrero, the people's bases. How are you, Chris?
Doing good. How you doing, Manny? How's everything?
Oh, dude, man, life is good, brother. Honestly, how's life with you?
Good, good. Looking forward to today's episodes. Well, we're gonna talk a little bit about what's going on in New England, and then we have a great show we're gonna record
Yes,
about
which will be in a little bit.
yeah,
But yeah, so I want to take a few, and this will be a separate little mini series on the New
yeah,
England serial killer, or a
yeah,
possible serial killer, I should say,
yeah,
or whoever. What's up with these New England murders? But I
yeah.
wanted to start out with you providing us updates on the
Sure.
case, if there's any connections, what new things have appeared, and we'll go from there. So.
Yeah.
Just summarizing, for any new viewers who are going to watch this episode, Cheech, if you're able, can you give us a rundown of the New England serial killer?
Yeah. So there's been since end of February, early March, bodies popping up in Rhode Island, Mass, and Connecticut. A total of 11 bodies. Um, I don't, I don't have the names of the three girls because there was a Paige Fannin was one of them, and then there was two other girls where they actually found the bodies. Then there's five or six other bodies that they didn't um, release to the press, and they found body parts in suitcases in like the Evergreen Cemetery and all these like creepy cemeteries around New England. And they found bodies in Rocky Point in Connecticut, a body in the Norwalk River, which makes us freak out, because it's so close. They also found bodies in another part of Connecticut, New Haven, New Haven.
Hmm.
So, it's popping up, and the police aren't really talking, but they're going to be talking now because it's getting close to home to a very famous person,
Right.
and I'll bring that up. So,
And
uh,
that's the newest development because I looked into that because you mentioned it. I
yeah,
looked into it and I was like, "Whoa, that's crazy."
yeah, this is
I don't
crazy.
think this particular person is too happy to, or will be happy when they hear about this.
Yeah, and doing a lot of research on serial killers for our series that we're coming up with, they love watching the news and they love themselves in the press. So whoever the serial killer is, if there's one or two, we've even mentioned that we have a theory it may be a cult, satanic or not or whatever, but they love the attention. So they're
Well,
I'm in the Facebook group, and sometimes I wonder if I'm instant messaging the killer, you know what I mean? So it's like
whatever you do, do not reveal where you work. But I will
I
say,
know, I know. I got a new job. I played bass for Potter's Field. So,
what if this person was in your live audience?
you know, just to get off topic for a second, in the '70s, when the son of Sam was doing, his deeds with or without his satanic cult. I don't want to get Manny Grossman mad at me, who's my guru on it, but
And I
I have
will
my
say
opinion.
on the next episode, maybe we can do like a Manny Grossman plug.
Yeah,
Explain to our audience who is Manny Grossman, right? And
yeah,
that's in preparation for the Son of Sam
yeah.
episode,
Oh,
right?
he's the expert on it. But this was in a Twisted Sister documentary. So in the '70s, during this time, Twisted Sister, the famous group, was playing the bars of Long Island, Brooklyn, Queens. They were playing all the time. So little did they know when they were on stage, it was the summer of Sam, and the lead singer who's crazy, Dee Snider, would be like, "Son of Sam, if you're out there, come and face me. I'll get you, you mother effer. Come on, So after the Son of Sam got caught, they were all freaked out because they recognized him. He would sit in the front row at their gigs. He was watching them,
You imagine like serial killer's a fan of your band. I'm like,
and
oh man,
this is
I
in the
could have been
movie.
murdered.
And this is factual. Like, you can fact check me. Watch the movie Twisted Effin' Sister, which is a great documentary about the band. But yeah, he said that. So, um, but yeah, so you want me to give you some information that I
Yeah,
have?
yeah, and again, the purpose of these updates is to, and once again, just don't fact check us, or
Yeah,
because Chris has been doing the research, and when I say research, it's mostly from this Facebook, like right forum, right? But it is
yeah,
good leads because I fact checked you,
yeah,
and you were actually right about this. This actually make kind of like news, and whether or not a lot of this is either true or false, I will say the purpose of doing this is to sort of, and I like what you said, to tell people be careful out there,
yeah.
especially because it's so close to home.
Oh yeah.
And I feel these episodes and these updates will kind of hopefully, and actually, you're gonna mention one guy that a possible suspect in a lot of these cases. I mean, hopefully, it was this guy because good, but otherwise, just be careful out there. At the end of the day,
Oh
look at
yeah,
these
yeah,
episodes as warnings against.
yeah. Are you referring to the Connecticut Valley killer?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people debunk that. A lot of people think it could be only because he's too old. And it's funny, like I've been
Well, but if he has demonic strength or
or a younger group of psychopaths helping
right,
them, you
right,
know, because I've been
part
it's
of a
funny.
cult.
Manny Grossman gets me down the wormhole, and the thing that I sent you with Manny to watch Manny about the Son of Sam is the guy who interviews him is a Zodiac killer expert. So it got me interested in the Zodiac killer again. Like my mind is like all over the place. And that guy never got caught. But who's to say that there might be a new Zodiac killer one day taking over for him, like the son of the Zodiac killer? It sounds like a horror movie, like that kind of.
Right, right. And I'll
So
be
who knows?
honest with you, like I always say like with these, it's crazy because I feel as though, well, obviously it'll start with Jack the Ripper, just going back a little bit in terms of
Oh yeah,
history.
yeah.
But it people get inspired by this. Like, and you're right, it's not far-fetched that maybe son of the Zodiac. I mean, you never know, you know.
Oh, every serial killers in a way are like like bands, okay? Like
Yeah, no, it's sick, but
and
yeah.
and the guy that we're gonna do, I'll just quick spoiler, we're gonna do the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez, one of my favorites next to the Son of Sam. He said to the cop when he got caught, he was so impressed with him that I think the cop was on the I forget the name of the case. It was a strangler in California, and he was like, "You were on that strangler case? Oh my god! Like you're my hero." And you worked on the Ted Bundy case? Like, oh my god! So he was inspired by these other psychopaths to kill.
That's the thing. It sort of breeds it, and so there's always been I mean, we'll get into it later, but
Yeah,
back on the New
yeah.
England cases. So what's new, Chris Cheech?
Okay, so
What's new?
we got now this is from I looked it up online, and this is from the Facebook page, and I think the Facebook page, I'm on like four of them, they're all legitimate. um so a man by the name Arroyo Roman was arrested, and they said he is the serial killer. He confessed to killing four people, and leaving some of the bodies in the Evergreen Cemetery, which I believe is in Connecticut.
Right,
So they say that he's connected to a lot of these women that are killed, but
right.
he only said four. Now there's 11, and they didn't say the names. He didn't say Paige Fannin, or he didn't say the other two girls. you know.
Right.
But they called them the serial killer suspect. You know,
Right. Right.
Arroyo for
And it should be noted, and just to fact check you, it should be noted that this alleged killer confessed to the cemetery murder,
yeah,
and he claims it was over a, this is so sad, but over a $700 debt. And he confessed to stabbing to death the 35-year-old New Havener Naisha Mendez in
yeah,
Evergreen Cemetery. And this
yep,
is Edwin Arroyo Roman.
yep. Hmm.
And he even reenacted the homicide to show officers how he allegedly committed the murder.
Hmm.
So this could be maybe, if this is the case, it sort of, and he's arrested. So
But
um
I question it. You know what I mean? Is he just somebody who killed one person? You know, did you read four or one? Because I read four. He confessed to four murders.
so I have one that's kind of confirmed, is that woman. Now, and by the way, he speaks Spanish, which is cool. He's a Spanish speaker.
Yeah.
This is this one particular woman. I didn't
Okay.
want to get into details about it. But apparently also this dude killed three people in Puerto Rico.
Right. So he is
So
definitely a killer. He's a serial killer. But
homicidal, yeah.
yeah, but maybe he's not uh the guy we're looking for in the New England case. You know what I mean? Is he just
He would solve maybe some of the New Haven ones, but you're right, not but it's crazy. I have your just that one woman, and I don't know if you want to know, do you want to go in little details about this, just to fact check you because you did a good job
he,
with that.
he put her in the suitcase? He chopped her up, and I think he put her in the Evergreen Cemetery.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, and again, detectives kind of looked into this case, and um, get this. So the Arroyo told detectives that the woman who was, so I got one woman. You could be right though. It's just a case just to, first of all, tell people out there be careful, but
Yeah.
because this did happen in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Arroyo. So just a few things here. Um, so first of all, he told detectives that this woman Mendez owed him $700, that he had been asking for the money, but she was not repaying him.
Yeah.
So he picked up Mendez on Friday, May 2, so literally 2 weeks ago, which is kind of scary. She asked for them to go to a peaceful place to hang out. And Edwin, first of all, why would you follow a guy to a cemetery? Edwin said that he always finds the cemetery peaceful. So he
Yeah.
brought her there. And then they started using heroin in the cemetery.
Ah.
And he asked her, I want the 700, but Mendez didn't have the money. And then he said, I need you to pay me back. Like, I need the money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, one thing led to another. I go into too much details. And he stabbed Mendez multiple times and admitted, this is what he's admitting to the detectives,
Okay.
killing her outside the vehicle so there could be no blood inside the vehicle.
Hmm.
He told police that he threw out the knife out of the car window while driving away from the cemetery, stomped on Mendez's phone, and uh, cut up the clothing uh, she was wearing when he killed her. And so, point is that this is one of the bodies,
Yeah.
and it's crazy because he, yeah, like
I don't know where I got four. Uh,
it could be the case, but
you
I
know, I
got one of
could
them.
be wrong, but this to me does not sound like a serial killer. This sounds like a drug deal gone bad.
Yes, yes,
Like
exactly.
this is what we talked about in the episode. Like you have drug dealers, you have gang members, you have satanic cults, you have serial killers. You know what I mean? So we don't know who's doing this. Is there a drug ring going on in these three states? And maybe people, these bodies are just, I don't want to say anything disrespectful to the dead, but is it connected to drugs? You know what I mean? And that's what it is. And it's really not a serial killer thing, but I don't know. It sounds too far fetched. I think this is a one-off drug deal going bad, and we all know how bad drug dealers can be when it comes. I mean, from watching Scarface in the movies, they can do stuff like that. So maybe he just obviously was out of his mind, and he did it. He was on drugs, and he killed her. So maybe not a serial killer. I don't know. How do you feel?
Yeah, and it just solves like it's a few cases, but not all of them.
Yeah. So it's one, but it's a new woman. It's none of the olds. It's not Paige Fannin or the two other girls.
Right.
So it could be. It's one of them. It's body parts in a suitcase in the Evergreen Cemetery. So there's one murder, one off murder. So
Right.
that's why the police aren't calling it a serial killer.
And it's crazy because you say four women. I only have just based on the fact checking, like I only have one that woman,
Yeah,
that one.
that could be my mistake.
Well,
Uh,
either way, again, so we saw, he's definitely not the, if there was a New England serial killer, you can
he's
like
not.
cross
I
him
was
out and pretty gruesome. Either way, it's pretty gruesome what he did, but you're right. It sounds like a drug deal gone bad.
yeah. He
And
wanted
what's
seven.
crazy is that Naisha was like 35. He was like 55, which is not a crazy
Yeah,
thing,
right.
but
My age, I remember reading. Yeah, so he
and they were using heroin, so it kind of proves your point.
not a good idea to use heroin when you're 55, dude. You know what I mean?
And also in the cemetery, which is
Not a good idea to use heroin. Period. But like when you're 55, I don't know, your heart's gonna stop pretty quick. You know. Anyway, like, how do people even do heroin today or drugs with this fentanyl thing? You got to be out of your mind.
oh, they still do it, man. It's a problem.
It's really scary. Anyway, it's a whole other thing. So yeah, I would
Oh, and
rule
I
out.
will say, and this is crazy because just one more thing. A Royal Roman's arrest warrant states that Mendez was found naked with her neck slashed and had multiple lacerations around her chest, waistline, and jawline.
Yeah,
And her underwear was around her ankles. So this dude
oof,
is sick.
he's brutal. He's brutal.
He's sick.
No,
Anyway, but going back, so and what else you got?
that's definitely serial killer material right there.
Oh, potential, but more
Yeah,
like desperate for like taking advantage of women who are using heroin, you know?
yeah, and wanting the money.
Yeah.
The next one I got, and we talked about this briefly, Donald Koffel. Now, I think I'm not sure what part of Connecticut is it. Is it Groton? I think maybe I didn't get the
Wait,
actual
how do you spell his last name?
F Coffel.
Okay.
Uh,
This is
yeah, Connecticut.
Groton. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, this is the guy. Sorry, Cheech. Before I was oh yeah, we were talking about this.
yeah, yeah.
So go ahead.
He's interesting.
Dude, both of them look so creepy.
Oh yeah. So last week, he confessed of killing Susan Wormser. He lived with her, and he said he killed her in their apartment, and he cut up her body parts and he put it in a bag, also in a Connecticut cemetery.
Yeah, what is up
And
with that?
the thing that throws this case off, he died of cancer. He had
Yeah,
cancer,
right.
and he died a couple weeks ago. So how does a man who has cancer have the strength or whatever to do that? If you're on cancer, you would think you're on chemo and you're weak. You know what I mean? So it's kind of weird. It's odd.
I wonder if he knew he had cancer or didn't, or
Well, he's dead. He definitely died.
no, I know, like, but
Yeah,
did he know before he went to prison?
that's a good question.
And it's crazy because now you I think you confused it. The previous one, that girl wasn't dismembered.
Oh, she was. Oh, okay, okay.
This is the girl that got dismembered.
Oh,
By
okay.
the way,
I
both
apologize.
take place. It's creepy. So, moral of the story, kids, don't go near cemeteries. I mean, I don't know what is up with
Oh,
that.
he didn't dismember. So, Aurora Roman didn't dismember the lady. He,
No, but did
he
definitely cut her up and like, definitely did something creepy with the body. No, this is the guy who did the
okay,
dismemberment.
okay.
And This is the one that killed a woman whose torso was found in a suitcase at the
Yeah,
entry to a Groton cemetery. Also, can we talk about, like, let's say if you visited the cemetery and that's the thing you found,
I
how
know.
horrifying is that?
That's morbid.
And
It's
just to confirm what you said, yes. So he was the one that died in jail. So, Cheese, yeah, great job, man. Like, really great
thank,
job.
thank you. I mean,
Donald Caulfield, 68 of Groton, was charged on April 25 with murder and other crimes in the death of Suzanne Wormser, who was 68, with whom, and by the way, definitely, even though this guy's horrific, not a serial killer case because
no.
this is more like, I don't know, a crime of passion or whatever. But even though,
And who was the girl? Who is this girl? Suzanne Wormser. Is it his wife, his girlfriend? Did they have a
no,
fight over money? Like, there's not much information about who
no, no. And
relationship.
the only thing that's weird is that this dude died of pancreatic cancer.
Yeah,
And all I have here was they lived together, but were not married. And just to and again, by the way, this is all of our episodes on true crime are viewer discretion, so kids should
yeah,
not be watching this. And also,
yeah,
no one under like 21 or 18, I don't know, should be watching true crime episodes. If you do, well, you're
yeah.
warned. But anyway, but going back to this, no, so they were living together, not married, and according to the police affidavit, this is horrible. But this is the dismembered one, Cheech.
Yeah, yeah.
Wormser's torso was found on March 19, wrapped in a garbage bag, with her head and extremities removed, which is horrible. This guy's horrifying. The remains have been placed in a black suitcase that was left near the entrance to the cemetery in mid-February. She had not been in contact with family for months and had missed her sister's birthday in late January, according to police.
Wow.
So this dude, as far as I know, I mean, this is only murder he did,
Yeah.
but
Again,
it's definitely serial killer level. Like this guy is
oh,
horrific.
it's just he's sick. I mean, he might be a potential serial killer to do that.
Suspect in other cases, like
Yeah,
that the police have not reported on.
yeah. Like who does that? I mean, the other guy did a horrible thing. He cut the
But not the same.
stuff.
The other one's definitely a drug deal gone bad,
Yeah,
and dude took advantage of the heroin, because we were using heroin
yeah.
user.
He did
This
the
one,
he did the typical Scarface. I call it the Scarface type of murder. You know what I mean? Like, they slice the throat and they kill
right,
you over drugs and stuff like that.
right.
This guy is like Jason, psychopath.
Oh, he's horrific, and I
He's a
wouldn't be
Ramirez
surprised when
kind of thing.
yeah, and this is crazy. Just a Caulfield confessed that he had hit Wormser 3 times in the head with a baseball bat, and then kept her body in the apartment for a week and a half before
Okay.
dismembering her.
There's a
So
little bit of Dahmer in there too, like that kind
yeah,
of
I'm actually
with
glad
it.
this dude kind of died. I mean, he
Die.
should, but um, and just to add a little more details, Caulfield said that he put some of her remains in garbage bags that he put in 2 dumpsters, then wheeled her torso to the cemetery where he left it.
That
So, as far as I know, this is the only crime he did, which is horrible,
yeah.
horrific. And but it's the roommate. It wasn't, as far as we know now.
Yeah.
Could he have done something else or with other people?
I
Maybe.
don't know if he had cancer, like
But I agree
pancreatic.
with you. It would be too hard. It definitely could take advantage of like um, women around his age, right?
Yeah. He's
But
old too, right? Was he?
he was
You said six,
old. Yeah, it's
and he
68.
had pancreatic cancer, which is like that's a horrible cancer to have, and you're weak. You really can't even get out of bed. You're
Yeah.
bedridden and on chemo and stuff. So this is odd. This is an
Odd.
odd.
Both
I,
are odd. And I don't think we were talking about it, but
no,
enough, but both are very odd.
I know. Do you think he had help? Maybe he had help, and he didn't, and he's not
Being
bringing.
honest with you, maybe.
But
It's because
DNA,
I will admit, to dismember someone like that, I
yeah.
mean, that's
I mean,
horrible.
they would have found DNA or
Right.
something.
No, as far as
You
we
know?
know, he confessed that he did it.
Yeah,
So who
and
knows?
he died. So out of the two, do you think any of the two guys are connected to the New England serial killer? Would they be? a possible suspect, or is this just two separate incidents?
I
Which
think separate incidents. I don't think, I mean, both are pretty horrific. I mean, one is Dahmer crazy, but
the
nah, just,
worst,
I mean, I'm glad the other guy died because he would have
yeah,
gone on who else, if he was I mean, he definitely was a serial killer in the making, just the fact of what he did.
and if
And,
he's 66, maybe he did this before. You just don't do that shit, you know. You
oh,
don't kill people like that in that
right.
manner, you know. So anyway, we'll say we'll rule these. This is two separate cases, murder cases. You know what I mean? Like uh and so why are they putting them in cemeteries in Connecticut? And it's, is it just a coincidence it's happening in Rhode Island and Massachusetts and it's trending now to do that?
Horrible.
Poss-
And like in the
Possibly.
serial killer world, like, yikes.
Or it's not a serial killer and it's just crazy people doing stuff because there's so many sick people in
Yeah.
this world. So those are the two. Great job, Manny, for giving that information. Sorry I messed up on the
No, no, no. But it's good because you
or
got good lead-ins.
yeah. That's why the Facebook isn't always like accurate, I think.
Yeah.
They this is definitely the next one is accurate. And I think now police are really gonna open this up a little bit because of the celebrity. So everybody knows Taylor Swift, the Swiftie, you know. A human remains, a leg was found near Taylor Swift's beach house mansion in Rhode Island.
Right.
Um, and a lot of neighbors want to know if this is the serial killer that's doing this.
Right. And it's
Okay.
crazy because Taylor Swift actually may face investigation because I mean not to say that she although you always like to mention that connection with Anton LaVey.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, but cops, yeah, so confirming what you say, cops make a gruesome discovery near Taylor Swift's beloved holiday house in Rhode Island,
Yeah.
and possible human remains were found. Um, Officers located what appeared to be a human leg bone, which is
Yeah.
pretty
That's
horrifying.
it's gross. Like, so there's a leg in Rhode Island. There's two murders. Recent stuff, and there's two murders in Connecticut. What's going on? Who chopped off the leg? Who, and left it in Taylor Swift's backyard, let's say. And I think because I mean, these are mansions. These are people that are super rich. Like this is
Yeah,
probably
it's like
over,
a holiday home. I
and it's
mean, the
almost.
fact that
I don't know
somebody
what part of.
there is weird.
I don't know if it's Providence, Rhode Island, or I don't know if it's Newport where the mansions are.
No, it's called Westerly, Rhode Island.
Okay.
Yep.
So there's definitely
And it's a short distance from two famous landmarks, which includes a mansion owned by Taylor Swift.
right, right. So the fact that it's even near Taylor Swift, there's going to be a lot of security. There's going to be the police in Rhode Island are going to be on this because some sick serial killers probably wanting to get her. You know what I mean? Like
I mean, that's kind of, that's like
scary.
frightening.
You know, but she has Xena LaVey power, so she will not be touched.
And it's crazy because right, this human appendage, yeah, like a leg bones owner, which is weird, and it sparked rumors of a serial killer in southern New England. But officials have not confirmed any evidence of the existence of one.
Yeah.
Which, anyway, but I will say that is pretty strange.
Like, why is this happening? There's a leg, body parts in Connecticut. I mean, is this just a thing that people are doing? They're dropping off. Maybe there's like a drug cartel going on in that area, and
Very
they're just
possible.
that's I'm almost leaning towards that kind of theory. I've watched enough, the show The Mayans.
Yeah,
You have
yeah.
where this is like Mayans kind of stuff with the Mexican drug cartel doing that kind of stuff. Who knows? If there's a lot of drugs going on in that area and people aren't paying up and they're just saying, okay, you know, taking your leg. But anyway, so those are the three leads we got.
And I will say with the back to Taylor Swift though, it's gonna be an ongoing thing. So we'll be providing updates
Oh,
on that because
oh yeah,
That's
Yeah.
like the hottest thing right now, because it's
Yeah.
just the fact that it's in New England. I mean,
Yeah.
whether that washed up ashore or something. I mean, I don't know, but
And I think it made big news with Taylor because it's Taylor Swift and she's the
yeah,
biggest thing in the world. So it probably was on regular news, all over the place. So,
right, right.
and they'll beef up security because she's so famous
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So, yeah, so that's basically all I got on that. Still, my theory is it's definitely a serial killer. These are just incidents, I think, that are going on.
So you think someone's still out there?
I think not someone, people, people are out there. I think these were just two crazy people who did what they did. But who killed Paige Fannin? Who killed the other girl, the two other girls? No one's coming out with that. And there's four other bodies that they're not talking about. So they have to be linked in some way. There's no way that, these are just two crazy sickos. One was a drug thing gone wrong. I don't know about Donald Koffel. I have no idea.
Right,
Uh,
there's not much
I,
detail on him, but they lived together. So I mean, this guy was a
I'm
crazy.
saying, like, I don't know why he killed her. Well,
Right, right.
like, shouldn't, there's no reason to kill anybody, but
Right. Right.
like the drug thing, I understand, but like,
Well,
you,
I mean, with the other guy, I mean, there is reason because they're living together. I mean, this guy probably was crazy. I mean,
yeah, was he
you know,
schizophrenic? They didn't. There's not any information on him. Was he a
right.
mentally ill?
No. And again, I guess more details will come out but
Yeah,
we will say these two are kind of like ruled out in a way.
yeah,
Not or maybe, but not to say like they whatever else they did, but there is still a lot of cases and the Taylor Swift now is fueling rumors of
yeah.
you know,
That's going, viral now, and this is going to make the New England serial killer thing get bigger because of Taylor Swift's
right,
name on it, and it's good in a way because maybe they'll get somebody,
right,
but
right,
it's just so I get confused. I get a headache when I try to think like, how does this possible? This never happened in the history of, the only time it's happened, and we brought it up, the smiley face killer, that was traveling in different states. Like, you know, you would see young men washed up in the rivers and like, I don't know, like in the Midwest, obviously New York, but that's the only other case I know of where bodies were dumped all over the place. But that was definitely a serial killer.
right,
There was a sign of a smiley face left there to give you a sign like, you got to get me. And that
right.
was way before cameras and cell phones and stuff. And that
Right.
person struck in years. Uh, so we'll wait and see.
We'll wait and see, and then keep. We'll be providing, any. Well, you did a great job researching this. Any updates on the potential New England serial killer? And again, Taylor Swift is the newest thing right now in Rhode
Yeah.
Island, which is not far away from where we live. So
No.
yeah, we'll be providing updates, and we will catch you on the next one.
Yep. Take
All
care
right.
and be safe out there.
Yes, everyone in Connecticut, New England, be safe. Be safe.
Norwalk, be safe.
And right, seriously. And then comment below, what do you think of our information? We would love to hear if you have any, new
Please.
developments,
Yeah.
comment.
If you
Same
can
for the
add
Taylor
to
Swift situation, which is crazy.
if you can add to this anything about, I would really want to know more about Donald Koffel. That's the very intriguing. Why, if you know anything about him in the Taylor Swift thing, and if you have any opinions, if you think it's a serial killer, if you think it's a drug a drug cartel or a satanic cult or a cult, let us know what you think.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
All right. So we'll
all right,
catch you all on the next one. All right, Cheech, my friend. Till
all
the
right,
next one.
take care.